Hello everybody, this is Gareth Carine Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or even better than that, you could leave me a comment and it would be greatly appreciated. Or if you'd like to donate to my ministry or the charities that I give to, you can support me at PayPal GarethGarine3 at gmail.com. Lebanese singer Carine Bassilli speaks out. Peace with Israel is possible, but only after Hezbollah is gone. Born and raised in Lebanon, Carine Bassilli grew up to love Israel and is currently banned from her homeland. She has written several songs of peace in recent years and spoke with All Israel News about the latest political developments between her country and Israel. I'm not surprised, said Bassilli. That's the reason why I started this whole journey. She explained, speaking of her songwriting and Israel advocacy, the Lord showed me it's going to happen in the next few years. God promised me you will go back to your country, just trust me. Carine posted on social media 6 years ago that peace was coming. Encouraged, she adds, I see shifts happening. There are definitely a lot of changes I've noticed. One of the seismic shifts was a Lebanese news station, Al Jadid, broadcasting with an Israeli and Lebanese flag side by side together in the studio, equal in size and prominence. It was unthinkable until very recently. A lot of people want peace, Bassilli affirms. We're seeing that, but at the same time, I believe if we had the peace treaty, we can only have peace with Israel after they destroy Hezbollah. Frustrated at the disinformation in the media, Bassilli wants to put a record straight about the relationship between Hezbollah and Lebanese Christians. Many believe that Hezbollah was protecting the Christians. She says people don't know that when Hezbollah came and started taking territories in Dahieh, making it their headquarters, it was actually a Christian area. But when they started gaining power, many people were forced to leave, she explained. If they were there to protect Christians, they wouldn't have made the Christians feel unsafe in their own homes. I lived in a very hot zone. I was on the line between them and the Christian area. So when I heard Tucker Carlson talking about how Hezbollah is protecting Christians, I thought that's not true. They were forming an alliance with Christians because they wanted to gain power in other areas through these Christians, Bassilli protested. However, she explained that though many Lebanese people are in favour of peace with Israel, it was not the same as feeling positively about the Jewish state. Many are simply sick of Hezbollah with all the war and destruction and the terror group brings and want it gone. However, it is unlikely that an Israeli would be well received in Lebanon, even if there were peace between the two countries at least initially. Israel, the Jews, they cannot come to Lebanon alone because there's still hatred. They have to be very careful. We don't want to risk any Jewish people's lives, she cautioned. They don't want to be excited to go to Lebanon right away because we have a lot of people who hate establishing a diplomatic relationship in the first place, according to Bassilli. There may be then maybe Christians can go to Israel, she suggested. For the Jews to come, it's dangerous unless they have a second citizenship to use an Israeli passport and to cross the border and to come. It cannot happen right away. It's going to take some time for the Jewish people, but I believe the Christians are going to be able to go. It's going to be safe for them. Bassilli believes that encouraging Lebanese Christians to visit Israel and providing them with a positive experience would help pave the way for peace if travel between the two countries becomes possible. They have to open up a way for Christians to get there and to go to be in Israel, to be around the Jews so that when they come back they can start speaking up about their experiences. That will help the Jews to come to Lebanon little by little. I think it needs to be a plan like this, she suggested. It took time for Basile herself to develop a love for Israel. I was struggling with that, she says, recalling the beginnings of God's call in her life as a Lebanese musician. I was like, Lord, what is that you want me to do with the Jewish people? I feel like he was going to use music to do something in the atmosphere and in the region, to shift things and to change the narrative in the spirit and to break some things. So that's why I started doing it. Basile's songs have included Pray for the Peace of Jerusalem, the God of Israel, and an Arabic version of Israel's Eurovision song about October 7th attack, Hurricane. How a song based on Isaiah 62 is being released, but in some ways it's not a new song. The inspiration came before the Hamas attacks 3 years ago. She felt that she should not release it back then, but wait. Now is the time, she says, to release it. I believe it's what we have been releasing in the spirit over the region, in the music, in our prayers, and, or she said, sharing the scriptural sounds of peace and healing of power. This is how God created the universe, through his voice. She adds, her songs have been played far and wide, including countries in the Middle East. Isaiah 62 begins with the words, For Zion's sake I will not keep silent. For Jerusalem's sake I will not hold my peace. The church, the world is being silent. Christians are not speaking out for Israel. Bassilli laments. The song was recorded in Hebrew, English and Arabic, but unlike her previous songs, no Jewish people took part in this rendition of the song about Zion. I want to have an Arab Israeli just because I felt from the Lord Jews are obviously going to stand up for their people. So it was important to have an Arab Israeli to stand in the song to say, yes, you know, for Zion's sake I will not be silent. It was very strategically why the Lord got an Arab believer from Israel. Courage is contagious when brave people like Carine take a bold stand, as Billy Graham famously said. The spines of others are stiffened. The girl's name, just to get it for you again so that you can listen to her music. Carine Bassilli. If you look up her music on any of your platforms that do music, because people like this need to be supported, especially whenever they're Lebanese Christians and that they're standing with Israel, because it takes courage these days to stand with Israel, and you get a lot of flack for doing it. So this stance to me is so brave, so strong, and so resilient, and the right way for Lebanon to be headed whenever they finally get rid of that genocidal, maniacal organisation known as Hezbollah. Hamas is being re-strengthened in Gaza. The Houthis have been somewhat hit but are still strong. Islamic Jihad is still strong. ISIS is still strong. And other terrorist factions like the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps and the Besieged Forces, all of these terrorist organisations are genocidal in their beliefs and in the way that they treat others as being not worthy of life if they don't worship Allah. I will never bend the knee to Allah or the Muslim faith, because my God and his son Yeshua hung on a cross, had a gruesome death so that I could live, have healing, deliverance, and mercy, and love. And there's no God can take that gift away. Shalom. Maranatha.